Good morning, everyone. My name is Barney Johnson. I'm a classical composer, and I'm reaching you here from Paris. Well, technically, I'm in Gentilly, which is just right outside of Paris. And those of you who have been following the channel, like a loyal subscriber, you'll know that I lived in Paris for 5 years while I was studying harmony and counterpoint, but I actually left Paris in this August because my lease was up, I didn't have a job, I didn't like Paris, and so I moved to the south of France, Arnos-les-Bains, in the region of Bordeaux. And I was like, okay, I'll just stay there while I look for jobs as a composition teacher, send out my resume cover letter, I could live cheaply there. But unfortunately, I was not successful. The academic school year has already started. I have not gotten any responses, so most likely there's nothing is going to pop up. And now the new problem for me that is causing so much anxiety, even though it may not seem like I'm anxious right now, I think I'm filming because I'm anxious and I don't want to deal with the anxiety. The new anxiety is, okay, so then obviously I need income. I should have had a backup plan. I put all my eggs in the basket because I wanted the highest chance possible. But when you put all your eggs in one basket, you can lose them all, right? When you put everything on the line, you can lose it all. That's what I did. So my backup plan, of course, would be to teach English, which is what I was doing for most of my time in Paris in order to make money. A little bit of teaching music here and there, but it wasn't really, the substance of what I was doing, most of what I was doing. So I was like, okay, well, I need to start looking for jobs as an English teacher. And there's no jobs where I am. Like, where I am, it's not in Bordeaux, it's by the ocean. So to get to Bordeaux, it's about an hour and a half. But the public transportation isn't what it's like in Paris. The public transportation, like the last train that would get me back out of Bordeaux would be like 10:30 during the week. But the station it gets me to, the closest to my house, is still an hour by bike. So in order to get to Bordeaux, I have to bike for an hour to this, and like, now it's fine, but like once winter comes around, I don't know what's gonna happen. Also, I'm not able to go to the opera to do any kind of cultural life in Bordeaux because it's so far where I live and I don't have a car. So more and more I'm feeling limited, but I guess most pertinently, right now I feel limited because I can't get work because I don't have an internet connection where I live. But I was just in this dreamy phase, like, I don't need it, I'll just use it on my phone when I really have to, and like, I was just a fool. I was a fool. And I was a fool. I thought I wasn't a fool. I thought when I was making decisions that the previous Barney was a fool. Maybe he was more of a fool, but I'm a fool. I didn't have a backup plan to put all my eggs in one basket, and now I have to suffer, okay? Massive anxiety. But, so I'm back in Paris because my mom was passing through because she's visiting Germany, and she's German. And so I came back to Paris to visit her, and we stayed in an Airbnb. She's already gone back to America now, and I'm leaving a little bit. And honestly, I think I need to come back to Paris because like the other day, I was staying in a place about an hour out of Paris, but I just hopped on the train and got to Paris. Now, what's annoying right now is I don't have the Metro Pass because I don't have the monthly Metro Pass, so it costs a lot more. But in Paris, if you have the monthly Metro Pass, 75 euros, you can go like all throughout Ile-de-France, which is a huge, huge region. So I'm thinking like, well, A, there's work in Paris as an English teacher, not great, but it's work. And B, I can actually get to the job because in Bordeaux or in the region where I live, I don't know how I would get to the jobs, and I don't have internet connection, so I can't even take work at home. But I actually don't even want to do work at home because my laptop needs to be replaced, and it just seems really dodgy, it's just, I'm on borrowed time there. So, winter is approaching, winter is coming, and I'm starting to feel like really anxious. Now, there's a very specific reason that I feel very anxious right now, and that's because I don't have a place to live for next month. Right now, we're like, October 25th, so I have to cancel my dentist appointment. Too bad for my teeth. We're October 25th. I don't have a place to live for next month because in theory, I was going to extend where I was living in Anderneux-les-Bains, but I'm starting to be like, well, what is the goal, you know? And more I'm questioning, what is the goal? What are you trying to achieve? Because if I'm just staying there, but I'm kind of locked, I'm kind of blocked there, like I can't get out, you know? I have a bike, but I mean, still all the towns are small, there's not work here. Or what little work there is, am I gonna be able to negotiate a salary? The other issue is like, so I can only go to Bordeaux once a week for a ballet class, but afterwards I have to like rush to get back home to catch the train. So what am I gonna do? Just work and not have friends and not make connections with people? So more and more I feel like I have to get back to Paris. I honestly, what I have to deal with right now is massive shame. Yeah, massive shame. Because it's like, how is this possible? Like the best description of how I feel right now is, I don't know if you follow UK politics, you should, because it's quite hilarious, especially for Americans, because it's like not our home, so we can laugh at it. Though I guess if you're from the UK, it's not hilarious, and vice versa. But the Conservative Party in the UK, they're constantly changing prime ministers, right? They just had, Liz Truss was there 52 days, who knows how many days, whatever. Now they're on the new prime minister, then they're gonna change, they're gonna go back to the previous prime minister. It's a hot mess. And when I see that hot mess play out in the UK, in the Tory party, I'm like, that's my life. That's my fucking life. Because here I am, I left Paris end of August, thinking I was gonna go to this whole new world, right? And hey, I really do love the south of France. I love the living. It's more chill, it's more relaxed, I feel more comfortable, but I can't, first of all, I can't get work. So I don't know what to do. Can't get work, and I can't access anything. Like I have to use my bike, and it's quite limited, and I'm getting quite worried about winter. I don't know what winter is gonna look like. So I'm back in Paris, and now I have to like find accommodations, but it's like, how do I was looking through Airbnb, and it's still quite expensive, even if you're further out. And I did find some places that was affordable, but when I looked at the train, it's like a 2-hour train ride into Paris, and it stops running like at 10. So I can't go to the opera. And that's becoming more and more, honestly, the biggest issue. Well, the work issue as well. But also it's like, Paris is so wide, the whole Ile-de-France. So I also, even though it's better to be in Paris, in the region, I can't just be anywhere because I need to be able to access work. Like if I have to commute 2 hours to work to a job I don't even like, and it's like part-time, like I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle that, you know? So, and the other thing that's contributing massively to my anxiety is I just want to understand what the fuck happened, you know? It's like when there's a shit show or something goes terribly wrong, like I don't know, imagine like there's a performance and things go terribly wrong. The person falls off stage, the lights don't come out at the right time, the music starts at the wrong moment, like people are like, oh, what the fuck happened? But then there's like, okay, there needs to be an analysis. What's going on? I don't even have time to analyze my situation. I'm trying to understand what's going wrong in my life, because starting mid like April or March, I finally woke up in Paris. I was like, I can't live like this. I have to get out of school. It's a never-ending trap. I'm not getting anywhere career-wise, or barely. I didn't like Paris at the time. Now I think I like it, you know, foolishness. So I made composition front and center, and so I was like, no more English teaching jobs. I'm gonna put it all in to get a job in a conservatory. So I put everything in, and I invested in camera equipment so I could start a YouTube channel. I put so much online, so much on my credit card, and I'm basically at the max. I'm at the max, I'm at the lowest I can get. Probably, who knows, maybe tomorrow I'll be even lower. And I'm trying to be like, what went wrong? Like, please, I need to understand. And it's really frustrating, but I know I can't understand right now. And it's really, really frustrating. Because, like, it felt right. Everything felt right, you know? I woke up from a stupor, that was clear. I was definitely in a stupor. I lost friends because I was like, whoa, who are the people? So that's always a sign that you were on the wrong path, right? When you wake up and then you lose what you had, that's a sign that you're onto the right path. But it seemed right to leave Paris. I got a lot of encouragement from people. It was the right thing to do. And I don't know why it didn't hit me while I was in Barneyjmusic, and I would love to stay. You know, I wanted to film in La Harbor. I don't know if you've seen the videos of me in La Harbor. It's so beautiful. But it's like, I just do not see a way forward. I need a place to live on a permanent basis. And that's the other thing that's contributing to anxiety, is I don't think I'm gonna have a permanent place to live for another 6-8 months until summer. Because I need to find a place to live right now. It's not gonna be ideal. It's not gonna be ideal, okay? All right, so, enough anxiety talk. I'm so sorry, I hope you don't feel anxious. But I feel anxious. So anxious, it's not even funny, okay? Anxious. I feel so anxious. Though when I'm gonna go back home to Andanos, the band today, the other thing is like, I bought a bike and I don't know what to do. So if I move back to Paris, how am I gonna bring the bike back? I do know how. I need to do at least 2 trips to get my stuff from Andanos. I don't know. I don't have that much money. It's gonna go more on the credit card. It's just more stress. It just, c'est pas possible.